Is it a good idea to pair the RTX 4070 Ti Super with a budget-friendly CPU like the Ryzen 5 7600X to play games at 1440p and 4K resolutions? Well, I did just that, so let's check it out. Full system specifications, as well as other products featured in this video, are listed and linked in the description below, so you can grab them on Amazon if you're interested. There is no need to spend that much money on Windows 11 Pro when you can get it for much cheaper at cdkeyoffer.com. Additionally, use discount code iVadim to get 25% off and bring the total price down to $22. Furthermore, you can find Windows 10 Pro as well as Microsoft Office at much cheaper prices as well. Get yours now at the link in the description below, and don't forget to use discount code iVadim to get 25% off. If you're looking for a 60 FPS experience on a 4K or 1440p monitor, then the Ryzen 5 7600X may look like a good choice from the beginning if you are not looking very deeply into it. However, I will show you some games that will change your mind. But let's start our testing with Horizon Forbidden West, and as you can see, we are getting beautiful performance. The GPU load is at 99%, which means that it's fully loaded, and the CPU load is hovering around 60 to 70+%. We are at 4K resolution, DLSS set to quality, no frame generation, and graphics settings are absolutely maxed out, with field of view maxed out as well. And the performance is fine. We are consistently getting above 60 FPS, even inside of the tavern, where there's a lot going on, a lot of NPCs. This is one of the most CPU-intensive areas in the game that I could find. Let's see if anything changes if we enter combat. Come on. Let's go. Nope, everything is good. GPU load stays at 99%. Now let's see if we can have a good time at 1440p. Let's test native resolution to begin with, and then we'll have a look at the performance with DLSS enabled. The CPU load is a bit higher, but we're still getting a beautiful 60+ FPS experience. The GPU is still fully loaded, however, we are beginning to see dips to 98% every now and then. Let's try and achieve that. Oh, there we go, 97, yeah. You see, the CPU limitation begins to present itself already. Now let's see what happens if you're looking forward to a high refresh rate 1440p experience using DLSS set to quality. DLSS quality on a 27-inch 1440p display looks absolutely gorgeous. There is no reason not to use it. It is as good as native in my opinion. But now take a note of that GPU load. You see, it's now at 95, 96% and lower sometimes, and the CPU load is quite high. Even in a recently released AAA game that is quite GPU demanding, you will still be bottlenecked by the Ryzen 5 7600X if you're looking to push towards a 120 FPS experience. That's just not gonna be something that you can easily achieve, because we are leaving a lot of performance on the table. I've seen 89% GPU utilization just then. Yeah, we are losing quite a bit of performance just because our CPU cannot keep up with the GPU. But there are also modern games that are not that CPU demanding. For example, Hellblade II. As you can see, we're at 1440p, resolution upscaling, DLSS set to quality, and we're using the highest graphics preset. And the performance is absolutely fine. We're getting well above 60 FPS. and the GPU load stays close to 99%. However, even in this game we are seeing it drop to 98%, which means that there will probably be some scenes where it will drop even further. 4K 60 FPS is also achievable using the highest graphics quality preset, only if you use DLSS set to balanced. In a less demanding scene, 60 plus FPS, sometimes above 70, and in other scenes will even get 80 plus. And the GPU load stays at 99% consistently, which means that the CPU is doing well. However, in worst case scenarios, we will drop below 60 FPS, like this forest right here, 52, 54 FPS, oh, 50, 49, 48. So that's not what we want to see, and it means that if you want a consistent 60 plus FPS even in worst case scenarios, then we'll have to use frame generation on top of that. And just like that, we're getting 70 plus FPS in this very demanding scene. And the GPU still stays at 99%. Oh, I've seen 98 just then. But 1 or 2% is not a huge deal, although that just shows that even in a game where the CPU is not the most important part, we're still getting bottlenecked every now and then. Even some older AAA games, such as Cyberpunk 2077, will make the Ryzen 5 7600X sweat. If you pair it with the 4070 Ti Super, take a look at that GPU load. It is jumping up and down, sometimes it's 97, 98, 93%. That is not great for the overall experience because we are getting those frame spikes. Yeah, and you can actually feel like the game is not as smooth as it should be. And that is simply because the CPU cannot keep up with the GPU even at 4K resolution. Take a look at this. We are at 4K resolution and we are using high graphics quality preset, DLSS set to quality, and crowd density is on medium. Let's see what happens if we crank it up to high. And that just exacerbated the issue. We're now getting dips to 70% GPU load. Yeah, this is not a great experience, and you can see that our frame rate is now lower as a result of that, and the CPU load is approaching 80% from time to time. Oh, 83 actually just then. And all we did is just increase the crowd density, so we are getting a lot more NPCs on the streets, and the CPU cannot keep up. Let's say I want to enjoy 1440p resolution, graphics preset set to ultra, no DLSS resolution upscaling, and let's disable these things, they're just annoying. And right away, we see that we've lost quite a bit of performance. GPU load is at 80 plus percent. I've seen 69 just then, nice. But that was just a little stutter, I think. Yeah, sometimes it does reach 99%, but this is not good. If we had a more powerful CPU, we would get more frames in this particular scene right here. While this experience is still good, we're getting above 60 FPS, it's just that we are losing that performance. The experience could be better if we had a better CPU. In conclusion, if you're looking for a simple 60 FPS experience at 4K or 1440p, then the Ryzen 5 7600X will deliver that, no issues. However, if you want to make sure that you're getting all that the 4070 Ti Super has to offer in terms of performance, and you're looking to get a 90 or even 120 FPS experience, then this CPU is not for you. Instead, you should go for a more powerful CPU, like the Ryzen 7 7700X or 7800X 3D. That is what I think about this CPU-GPU combo, but what about you? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you are interested in any of the products featured in this video, you can get them on Amazon at the links in the description below. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video, and subscribe for more if you haven't already. It was I, Vadim. Until next time.